Heads on backwards.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey everyone, welcome to Docs Daily. Robert Frigo, Raphael Esparza, Nick Menken. We cleared out a lot of the dead wood. We got some of those other losers out of here. So we got the all-star team bringing it to you on Boxing Day. For those of you that are new here, welcome to the party. Go over to docsports.com for all of your sports handicapping needs. For the rest of you, welcome back. Hope you had a great Christmas. And as our little Boxing Day gift for you, like we do every day, I got to be completely honest, go down in the description and take advantage of that free 60 link that will take you over to Doc Sports, and you can get yourself set up with some free rated plays. We will actually give you $60 to try out our service from any one of our top tier handicappers. Also, if you enjoy the show and are looking for more content like it, free picks, instructional videos, make sure to like and subscribe the Doc Sports YouTube channel. So, all right, gentlemen, happy Boxing Day. You guys both have a good Christmas or what?
It was real good. Had 2 plates full of stuff. I had prime rib, lobster tail. I am not eating the rest of the week, I'll tell you that one. Picked up a nice winner, though, as well with the Nuggets. We needed extra time in that one. But how about Joker and Ant-Man? They put on a show late night for us. I actually fell asleep in the fourth quarter, but I'm glad I woke up to it there. But a lot of food and a lot of games on Christmas Day, but we're rolling here on Friday.
How about you, Raphael? Did you have anything big in the NBA yesterday?
What over? I had the Lakers game over, but once Austin Reeves got hurt in the first half, I knew that was dead in the water because he controls the pace, and the pace of the play for the Lakers just went downward after he got crushed. So I knew I had an L by halftime. I mean, because what are you going to do when Austin Reeves, who's probably the quietest, I would give him MVP candidate over a lot of people. I mean, he's pretty much the heart and soul in that team. I want to say it's Luka, but at least Reeves plays defense. Lucas never plays defense. So once he got hurt in the first half,
you guys don't have to get me started on Luka. Austin Reeves averaging 27.8 points per game. I had to do a double take on that the other day when I was looking at it. I did not have any NBA plays going yesterday. I needed a day off. I had such an awful weekend last weekend that I needed these few days where there's no college basketball, there's no hockey, minimal NBA to just kind of cleanse the palate. I feel like I hit my rock bottom. And so now we're headed back up. The one game I did kind of like Houston, though, just because all those guys on the Lakers, you knew they were coming back, but they've been injured. Like, they're not in form. These guys haven't been playing together. They just keep losing guys to injury over the last couple of weeks. So they're just not in a really good rhythm. How about the San Antonio Spurs, though? Like, you want to talk about a team that's in rhythm. Did either of you see them beating Oklahoma City outright for the third time in the last 2 weeks?
Not at all, Robert. That was a huge surprise. And I was on the Thunder here. I thought the Thunder double revenge spot at home, thought they were going to compete. But again, the Spurs continue to show they're a real team to be reckoned with here, and they compete against the best team in the NBA, and they beat them every time. So right now, in my eyes, this Spurs team is the team to beat here in the NBA. They clearly show it time in and time again with the Thunder. I like the Spurs here later down the stretch, so we'll see what they do here in the second half.
One thing about the Spurs game, that number opened up at 8. So I'm thinking, I thought Spurs money would come in because they're being too, and all that. I knew OKC was at home, but I thought it was just a big number. So I was waiting for it to come down to maybe live bet it, but it went upward. It closed in a couple books. I think FanDuel closed it at 10.5. So I couldn't believe how much money OKC came in. But 100% with Nick, I think the Spurs are the team to beat because OKC, they can't rebound.
I actually took my son to see the Spurs last Friday when they were in town, and they put on a show. They absolutely dismantled Atlanta, and Atlanta had been playing pretty well. I mean, they were up 40 to be like early in the fourth quarter when we decided to split. I agree with you. They absolutely are a real team. But to spin it forward with Oklahoma City, are we starting to see a little bit of a natural regression after that record start? Are they going to come back? Is there value betting against them? Is the Russian cut? Have people seen the Spurs beat them and now kind of figured out how to attack Oklahoma City? Is this a blip on the radar? Is it just a matchup thing? What are you guys doing moving forward with the Oklahoma City Thunder, Nick?
Yeah, I think it's just a real bad matchup here for the Thunder when they play the Spurs. You have guys that could move up and down the court, but then you got to deal with Wembanyama in the paint, and I think that slows down their offense there, especially SGA trying to drive into the paint. You got to worry about Wembanyama there. So I just think it's a very bad matchup. This Thunder team, you're not hitting the panic button on. You still got the depth on that bench. You still will be okay, but you got to have a different game plan when you do play the Spurs later down the road.
I think the Spurs are a little bit more deeper team than OKC right now because they didn't think Harper was going to be this good as young rookie, which if it wasn't for Cooper Flag, they could go back to back to back rookies of the year for San Antonio. So I think the plus of what Harper is doing is actually helping them with their bench rotation. Right now, they're a deeper team than OKC. And all last year and the beginning this year, we all thought OKC was a deeper team.
Yeah, I mean, remember, Oklahoma City, for this record-breaking start, they're only 16-15 against the spread. Like, the other teams in the NBA may not have figured them out yet, but the sports books certainly have. So I don't know how much value there's going to be. I expect them to be a double-digit favorite against Philadelphia in their next game this weekend. And to spin it forward to today, did either of you guys, anything jump out at either of you today on the NBA board?
Yeah, I mean, I have a premium on one of the games, but the Chicago Bulls. Let's talk about these Bulls here.
Of course, you're going to talk about the Bulls.
Well, they're playing good basketball now, Rob. They're playing good basketball. Winners are 4 straight here. They're in the momentum, and then you got a Philadelphia 76ers team coming 6-4 in their last 10 games. They're okay here on the road, but I'm going with my Bulls. They're playing good basketball here. They're scoring efficiently on the offensive side. You saw what they did on the road in that back-to-back game in Atlanta. They had to bring the offense there and outscore Atlanta in that game, and I think they do so here at home with a record of 7-6. They're only one game above 500, but I think they're playing good basketball here and plus money at home. I'm willing to take a shot on them.
Raphael, talk to me a little bit about that line. I thought that line movement was a little bit interesting. Chicago opened as a favorite at -1.5. That line has swung. Philadelphia now a nominal favorite at -1.5. But is this people not buying the Bulls surge that Nick is selling over here? Do people like Philadelphia? I've been riding Philadelphia a lot. I think they're undervalued. I think they're a better team than people realize. I think they're going to be in the mix now that they are not so Joel Embiid dependent. Now that he's kind of like their second or third option, they don't have to play him as much. They don't have to lean on him as much. I think that they're a very dangerous team. But talk to me a little bit about why you think this line is moving and if you think it's correct.
Well, if you look at the 2 books or the 4 books that have the Sixers favorite, what do they want you to do when you signed up? What is a TV game? When a prime team game? Is it Amazon Prime today? Let's say Friday. I'm so lost with Christmas being on Thursday. I don't know what day it is. They want you to either bet the Bulls at +1.5, which you're at home, or the star-driven team Philadelphia and hit that SGP. That's why the 4 books that you look at who have the Sixers at plus or at the favorite all want you to SGP it. Most of the books, I've talked to Vegas about this one just because I was a little puzzled why it went the other way. They're getting money all on the Bulls, so they have no idea. It's just those 4 books. I hate to mention it because one of the books actually emailed me not to mention it, but they're the ones that told me why they do. What they're doing, but they want the SGP button to be pushed. So Sixers and over, Bulls are over, which I like the under this game.
What's the opposite of name dropping? Like Raphael just try, you know what I mean? Like trying to,
it was FanDuel.
He has many leather-bound books. His office smells of rich mahogany. Hey, just want to mention all the people in the comments. Thank you for showing up. You are always appreciated. We do this show for you. Feel free to drop in a game, or if there's any topics, games, any questions that you have about sports handicapping or betting, that's what we're here for. We are a resource for you guys. So please take advantage. Okay, one of the games that I looked at, it's not a game that I released a play in, but another game that had an interesting line spike, opened at 2.5, jumped up to 5.5, is that Phoenix at New Orleans game. The Pelicans have been a little spicy lately. They just had their winning streak snapped, but they are 10-2 against the spread in their last 12 games. Any reason that we shouldn't be just riding the wave with the Pelicans as home dogs? Raphael, you're in New Orleans, so I feel like you would have some insight on this.
Yeah, this was going to be one of my free plays on the show. I have no idea why the Pelicans opened up at +5.5 this morning. You said it, they opened up at 2 yesterday. It's pretty much dropped down to 5, and I still think it's too high because the Pelicans are playing their best basketball all season long. And you know why? It's because Zion is coming off the bench. He's averaging almost 22 points a game, off the bench. So now he's energized in the second half, and they can leave him in the second half for their runs to give them a little bit of momentum and give them a scoring punch, where before he was gassed out in the fourth quarter for starting and playing much minutes. I love the rotation, what they're doing to him. I think the Pelicans not only +5 or 5.5, I think they win tonight.
I like it. I'm with you, Ralph. Pelicans right now are a bet-on team, like Robert talked about. They're covering against the spread. The record doesn't indicate that they're the best team here. They're 8-23, but they cover. They are cashing in for me. It's a bet-on team here for the Pelicans. So I'm with you. I like the Pelicans with the points here at home.
Sorry, guys. We are dog friendly here at Docs Daily. That's my dog Finley helping me out over there. Okay, we do have.
He likes the dog tonight. That's why your dog likes the Pelicans.
Dogs are barking, baby.
Yeah, the dogs barking.
That's right. The dogs are barking. She loves it. She's down with us. Okay, so one of the games that two guys on our site have 7-unit plays on. I'm not going to tip the hand on which they have. I don't know if you guys know this or not. So because I know who they're on, I'm not going to talk about this game, but they're both involved in the Miami-Atlanta game. So thank you, Sarah. So is there anything about that game that jumped out at you?
I'll talk about it. I like points in this one. Points, and that's what I will say. The Miami Heat, both of these teams are struggling. No question about it. I believe that Heat are on a 3-game losing streak. Then the Atlanta Hawks here on a 4-game losing streak. They lost to the Bulls back-to-back games here at home. I think the offense shows up. The defense hasn't shown up here for the Atlanta Hawks, and they don't play that well at home on their home court. Actually, it's the opposite. When Miami's at home, they play well. When Atlanta's on the road, they play well. So we'll see. I think there is a lot of points scored in this one. Both teams are 2-8, just bad basketball here out of them. Hero will be out in this one, and Bam is questionable with a back injury. I'm not sure if he's in the lineup here tonight, but again, I think it's a high-paced game. I like this over here.
See, I like being on this show just because sometimes we both have opposite plays. I'm totally on the opposite one. Miami's not a good dance partner anymore. Remember in the beginning of the season, their pace of play was #1 in the league, and it's dropped off ridiculously since Tyler Hero has been back. I like the under. I am going to bet this to probably 250 because I think we see 250. Wow. What Nick said is probably 100% what the bettors are going to see. If I can get 249.5 or 250, I'm waiting to bet the under on this game because I don't think Miami is a good dance partner, even though the Hawks defense sucks. I just don't think right now they're a good dance partner to push an over bet right now with that high of a number.
See, I think without Hero, they play better and score more efficiently.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I agree.
Again, seeing Atlanta in person last week, they were a mess. Part of the reason why they're losing and why they're not playing well is Trae Young is back. They had good momentum and a solid identity while he was out. They were playing better without him. Like anyone that's watched the show or listened to me about Trae Young over the last year, this is what I've been saying about him forever. The guy is a loser. Okay, like they are not a better team with him. They need to move off of him. They incorporate him back. All the chemistry is gone. They look disjointed. They are weaker defensively, and they haven't won a game in their last 4 since he's been back with them. So, I don't know. Maybe this is a spot against a reeling Miami team that has lost 8 of the last 9 games. Like I tend to agree with Raphael a little bit that I'm leaning on Atlanta here, but I don't know. Like I said, haven't seen them in person. I kind of want no part in them. So, all right, we are going to change gears here a little bit. We have some college football today, and then I want to briefly get some of your guys' opinions on some of the Saturday games. Also, somebody in the comments, you asked about the Texans NFL game. That is actually not tonight. That is tomorrow, and we will tack that on at the end. We'll get into that game a little bit when we're done talking about some bowls. So, all right, we got the Sports Bowl. Like, what a name, the Sports Bowl. Like, how unoriginal is that? The Rate Bowl and the First Responders Bowl. Any of those games jump out at you, Nick?
Well, first of all, that bowl game was the Motor City Bowl, and then they moved it to the Sports Bowl because that used to be the Motor City Bowl.
Sports Bowl, the sports game. Go for it, Nick.
I would lean towards Minnesota in this one. I like this price here, New Mexico, but I like the coaching staff for Minnesota. I think he brings it. They're 7-5. Yes, New Mexico 9-3 on the season, but yeah, who have they necessarily played? This Minnesota team will be ready. Big Ten team. I think they easily cover this one and win by a touchdown. So I lean towards Minnesota in this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
head coach of Minnesota. I think he's won 3 straight with Pete Fleck or whatever.
Flack. Yeah, they've won 8 straight bowl games.
Yeah, he's a really good
Friend your friend.
he's a great motivator for kids for bowl games. So I that's why I lean towards Minnesota as well.
A lot of I'm with you. So we got a clean sweep here. I like Minnesota, but a lot of action's coming in on New Mexico. Like this number keeps dropping. They are the team getting majority in the actions. And also, before we get more into these other bowl games, for those of you that do not know, Raphael Esparza releases a rated play in every single bowl game. He has been
4 games I did not this week. 4 games this year I did not because of dramatic line movement, and then just last year I got crushed with all this horrible transfer portal people where numbers went from 3 to 10.5. And so this year I said, you know what? If those games that have horrible transfer portal, I'm not doing it. Even though I might lose a 2-unit play, it was so stressful trying to find, okay, who's going to be the 3rd string quarterback or who's and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? Because there's 4 teams that had 6+ or more transfer portal people, either offense or defense. And Kansas State, who backed out of bowl games, I was glad that they didn't, because they already said I wasn't going to have enough teams. And there's 2 teams this year that made bowl games that were eligible because they had 2+ players on their roster.
Wow. So again, okay, so he took 4 bowl games off, but still, if you're looking for bowl action and want picks in these bowl games, like Raphael is your man. He's been doing this for over 10 years, releasing plays in, we'll say, just about every bowl game. So, one of those bowl games that had a lot of opt-outs that kind of scared me off it. I kind of like UT San Antonio a little bit tonight, but they have 4 defensive starters out. Florida International, they have 3 starters in their secondary out. I didn't release a rated play in this game. Now that we're on game day, I kind of wish that I had gone with UT San Antonio, but just a little too much uncertainty. Also looking at the total in that game, over 61.5, I believe. As I mentioned, 4 defensive starters out for San Antonio, 3 guys out in the secondary. The McCown kid, the quarterback for UT San Antonio, he has been very, very good this year. Either of you guys have a dog in that fight between Florida and International and San Antonio?
I played the team total over. I played UTSA team total over at 32.5, and it's because of FIU missing those 3 players on defense. I think Owen McCown is just going to have a field day passing the ball. I wanted to play the over in this game, but it was 60.5 when we were releasing, and it opened up at 57.5. So I told myself if it's 59 or higher, I wasn't going to release the over on this game. But I think this play goes over, and I'm going to highly suggest you, if you're going to bet the over, live bet this, and hopefully it starts off slow the first 5 minutes. Normally, I've been tracking this. The first 5 minutes, if there's no scoring, books have dropped numbers 3 points different than what the closing number is. So if that's the case, there's no scoring in the first 5 minutes and a total 61.5. You can maybe get 58.5 if there's no scoring in the first 5 minutes. So if you missed a good number like I did, I would wait to live bet it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Ralph. I missed that 58.5. So I like that live bet. See how the game opens up here. And you could get that live bet over 58. I like that 58, flat 58 right there, 58.5.
And again, slow starts have got to be kind of expected in some of these games. Yeah. You have unfamiliar opponents, you're playing on neutral sites, and these teams haven't played in a month. So, you got to expect that they're going to come out and dance around the ring a little bit before they really get into it. I was lucky. I hit my 5-unit play on Tuesday with the over in the Toledo-Louisville game. Had absolutely no business getting that one over, but there was 20-something points scored in the last 5 minutes of that one to push it over. So
I know I shouldn't have cashed my Hawaii ticket on Christmas Eve. That was a miracle cash.
I cannot believe that they won that game. Like, I stopped watching and paying attention to the score because I had money on Hawaii in the over, and I was like, okay, I guess I missed that one. I wake up the next day, find out I missed a huge comeback, a fight. Like, all kinds of good stuff happened when I changed the channel. So, all right. And then the first game, Central Michigan, Northwestern. Northwestern, they got Preston Stone. Got to give Northwestern credit. They're a little better this year than I expected them to be. They play some tough, disciplined football. Does this game mean anything to them? Like, are they just happy to be in a bowl game? Is this does Central Michigan have the motivation angle because they get to try and take out a Big Ten team? Like, how did you break this one down, Nick?
Right. I mean, that's a motivational factor anytime you're playing a Big Ten team and you're Central Michigan here. Yeah, you're going to get up and it's going to look really good on the coach's resume if you do beat a Big Ten team. So that I would lean towards the Central Michigan side getting up for this game, but I lean towards Northwestern here. What was the spread before this game kicked off? What did it close at?
Opened up at 12, closed at 13. One book, Caesars, closed at 13.5.
We got nothing.
So maybe
0-0
bet.
score 9 minutes into the game, by the way. Again, any value, Raphael, on the end game bet?
I was leaning towards Central Michigan if it got up to 14 on this game. It's just the bowl games have not been big blowouts this year, except one, I think, the Kennesaw State game, which is an ugly game through and through. I was looking to take the plus points, but I think Northwestern is the overall better team. I just thought the number was high.
Okay, so tomorrow is actually, like, for my money, tomorrow is probably the best day of bowl games of the entire bowl season. Like, I know we have playoff games coming. Those games mean more and all of that. But tomorrow is kind of what you think about traditionally when you think about a bowl day. We have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 games on the board. A lot of interesting matchups. Was there like, what is each of you, your favorite game either to watch, to bet, which one you're just the most interested in of all the bowl games tomorrow?
Yeah, let's start off with the Georgia Tech and the BYU game. I think BYU had a great offense there, especially towards the end of the season. They got really competitive, but they got their butts whipped by Texas Tech. So we'll see how they respond after that loss against the Georgia Tech team who was competitive in the ACC. They slipped up a little bit. They were 9-3 on the season. I think this BYU offense is legit, though. I'm riding with BYU. I would lay the points here tomorrow with a -5.5. I don't like that number. It's a little tricky, but I do believe they win by a touchdown.
Are you worried at all about the letdown factor, the fact that BYU is on the cusp of making the college football playoff for the majority of October and November? They came up short in the end. They got snubbed, left out, however you want to phrase it. Are you worried that they're just not going to come to play and not be that team that they were this year? Because I got to tell you, BYU is one of those weird teams, man. Like the wins, both straight up and against the spread, never match the statistics, never match what you watched, okay? There's not one thing that you could point to about this BYU team and say they do this exceptionally well. Maybe forced turnovers. They just were kind of a quirky team. If they don't have that magic in this game, could they get upset?
100%, but I think you come in with a chip on your shoulder. Right? You just getting snubbed by those college playoffs. You want to prove to not only the committee that didn't vote you in here, but to everybody in the nation watching this game that, yeah, you did probably belong in the playoffs here. So I think they come out guns blazing here with a chip on their shoulder in favor of BYU.
How about you, Raphael? What's your favorite game on the Saturday card?
Let me piggyback on that. BYU and their head coach signed a good cookie deal to get a big paycheck to stay at BYU. So I think that's a great motivation for the kids, knowing that this coach chose them over bigger paydays in other coaching spots. So I think that's probably a good factor for BYU. Mine, I'm going to another team that probably felt a little bit disrespected because they had a chance to maybe be one of those teams, Tulane or JMU, but they got snubbed because Tulane whooped their butts. I'm taking San Diego State. Give me all the plus points I want with San Diego State against North Texas. The two really meaningful games that North Texas played, I already mentioned. Tulane just scored another touchdown on them just now as I'm talking. And USF probably scored another touchdown against that defense in North Texas. Yes, North Texas won some games, but they gave up a lot of points. And what does San Diego State do? Their defense is really good, and they don't give up that many points. Their losses were Hawaii, that's a hard travel going to Hawaii, play that game. So I don't look at that one, and I know they lost against New Mexico, but I just think defense wins this game, and I just don't think North Texas has any defense.
North Texas lost their head coach. He's going to Oklahoma State. I feel like their quarterback isn't playing for them either, is he? Wasn't North Texas another team that just got crushed by the opt-out? So I'm with you. They were a soft, flashy, win in a shootout type of team. And I think that San Diego State has seen better versions of that in the Mountain West. So they're not going to be thrown at all by North Texas. Is that number still around 5.5 too, Raphael? Like what was surprising was not just at North Texas, even though losing their coach, losing their quarterback, losing a bunch of guys, that they're still favored. It's how significantly they're favored. If they were 1.5, 2-point favorite, I wouldn't like it as much as I am. But what did you guys say that number was?
6.5.
Yeah, 10-15 books started moving it to 6.5, which blows me away.
Yeah,
I'll say it right now. I released a horrible number. I don't care. I'll say it right now.
Yeah, because you're playing for them to win. You think they're going to win outright, frankly.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm kind of with you. I do have a big play. I have a 5-unit play on Saturday, probably my favorite bowl play of the weekend. I'm not going to talk about that one, but I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna take 2 games that I'm kind of curious about. Penn State, Clemson. I want absolutely nothing to do with betting this game because they're both so shaky and flaky, and you just kind of don't know what you're going to get. But on paper, at least, that looks, you got 2 big name programs, 2 teams that had expectations at the beginning of the season. I think they both opened in the top 10. We're among the favorites to make the college football playoffs, and we're getting some dark horse sleeper national championship kind of projections. And here they are playing before January 1st. And then Virginia, Missouri. Virginia was another team that had a chance to punch its ticket to go to the college football playoff, threw up all over themselves and lost to Duke in the ACC championship. What do they have left in the tank? What's their motivation level like in that game? And on top of that, Virginia was another one of these, just like, they were fruits, man. Like, they got so lucky so many times this year, winning so many close games or games in overtime, or, they win in North Carolina by an inch. They win by 2 points against Washington State. So I don't really think they're for real. Missouri, if they had Bo Pribula, their quarterback, who transferred from Penn State, entered the transfer portal again, I think Missouri would beat this Virginia team by 20. Without him, what's that going to do to this one? So either of those 2 games, Penn State, Clemson, Virginia, Missouri, move the meter for either of you?
I do like Missouri. I think the 2 quarterbacks that have on their team have experience being quarterbacks in college football. So I think that helps them a lot. I think Missouri's a good spot.
Yeah, Pribula was out. He missed 3 or 4 games this year, so they have experience playing without him. But how about you, Nick? Either one of those games you're going to tune into?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Raphael. I like Missouri too. I just think that Virginia losing to Duke, that kills the team right there. I'm all over Missouri here, even with the backup, and -3.5. I think they easily win by a touchdown as well.
All right, and then the last game that we're going to chat about before we get out of here, somebody asked about it tomorrow. Huge game, really. Playoff implications. Also could be a potential playoff preview. Houston going out to Los Angeles to play the Chargers, 2 of the hottest teams in football right now. I think Houston's won, 7 straight games. Chargers have won like 7 of 8. Houston's won 3 straight road games. Chargers have won 4 straight at home. Little surprising that the Chargers are not a token full 3-point favorite in this game. That total sitting at 39.5 too. Hasn't budged an inch really all week. What are your thoughts? Let's start with Nick and then go to Raphael. What are your thoughts on that Texans Chargers game?
Yeah, this one's a tricky one, but I got to back the Houston Texans. And why is because of their defense. Their defense is legit. This is why they are 10-5. It's not because of CJ Stroud and this offense and how explosive they have been. Houston Texans defense have kept these guys in playoff contentions. Now they're second in the AFC South here. But the Chargers do have an explosive offense, but they're not as consistent. They're inconsistent at times. And against a very good defense like the Texans, I think they're going to have a hard time scoring. I trust CJ Stroud and now Nico Collins in that offense. So I'm backing the better defense in this one. I'm going with the Houston Texans, and I'm taking them on the money line.
Oh, there's nothing better than going opposite with Nick when I'm on this show. It just makes me feel good.
I'm
on the other side, but it's all about if Omarion Hampton can run the ball against Houston's defense. If they can't run the ball, then it's a totally different game, and it's going to be a low-scoring game. But I'm also looking, am I going to trust C.J. Stroud, which I haven't trusted him since his rookie year, or am I going to trust Justin Herbert? I'd rather trust Justin Herbert.
Yeah, this is going to be a great one to watch. These are 2 teams that could face each other again in a few weeks in the playoffs. 2 teams that I'm not in a hurry to bet against. I've been riding the Houston train. Unfortunately, they could not come through for me last week. Let the Raiders hang around. That was my top play. So if they play like that, they're going to get waxed by this hot Chargers team. But yeah, that's going to be one to watch. And again, that total, man, I don't know what to make of it. Like on Monday when I saw the numbers, I was like, under. Like Houston's defense is playing awesome. The Chargers defense is playing awesome. Like nobody talks about it. They talk about Justin Herbert, he's not going to win the MVP, but he has been playing at an MVP level all season long. But that Chargers defense is no joke, man. Like those guys are ridiculous. So is this kind of too easy to just jump on this under? Do we think that we get some points late here for this one to sneak over?
Go ahead, Rob.
That's a tough one. I don't think we're going to see many 40s pop up just because when you talk about Houston Texans, you talk about their defense. You don't see, Houston Texans, CJ Stroud is going to roast that. You don't hear that. You always hear Houston Texans are going to win because of that defense. And I think that's the way the bettors are looking. I would be shocked if we see 40s and 40.5 pop up tomorrow.
Okay,
I'll
and
play
just
devil's advocate on this one, Ralph.
Yeah,
I have to go against you just because of how good both defenses are. Let's go ahead and take the over just because the defenses are very good. I like the 42. I think we get to in this one. So let's go with the over, Ralph.
Is Jordan Love going to play tomorrow? That number's on the move. Those of you that got Green Bay at 3 or 2.5 earlier in the week, good work. That number is up to 4.5. Lamar Jackson definitively not playing. Malik Willis and Jordan Love are questionable. Me personally, I don't think Jordan Love is going to play. I think we're going to see Malik Willis start and try and go. But I don't know. You guys seeing anything, reading anything? Your gut instincts tell you anything? Raphael, we'll start with you.
Well, my gut instinct was I was hoping the Lions would have won yesterday, so then we probably would have seen Jordan Love play this game. He practiced twice this week, so it's not like he's been not practicing. I know he's still in a concussion protocol, but now that the Lions lost, I mean, the Packers don't really need this game, but I want nothing to do with Baltimore. Jackson's not playing. And what about King Henry? If he can hold on to the ball, then yes, I would say King Henry can win this game for them. But yeah, he'll rush for 120 yards, but he'll fumble when he shouldn't have fumbled, and the other team would score on that takeaway. I want nothing to do with Baltimore.
What do you got for me, Nick?
I lean towards Baltimore Ravens in this one with the points, baby. The Packers are done. The concerns with Jordan Love, and they're in shambles after that loss to the Bears. And I got to talk about the scenario of our Chicago Bears here, Robert. But if the Bears win against the 49ers and the Seahawks were to lose against the Panthers this weekend, they jump into the number 1 seed. Now, if the Bears win against the 49ers or the Eagles lose to the Bills, we get the number 2 seed locked up. Now, if we clinch the NFC North, they just got to win against the 49ers, and the Packers lose. We clinch the NFC North, folks. So a lot to going on with the Bears here in the seeding implications this weekend, so I'll be watching that tight.
I think if Jordan Love plays, which again, my gut instinct is that he is not going to play. That's just that is not based on research, inside information, or anything. I'm just telling you after seeing the hit, watching the developments this week, that is my level of expectation is that he is not going to play. However, that being said, what I actually think is going to happen, I think the Packers win this week. If he plays, I am absolutely putting a lot of money on Green Bay because I think Baltimore is washed. I think the Bears lose. I think Green Bay wins this week, but I think that the Bears beat Detroit. Detroit is absolutely done. They're going to be stunned. That is going to be a revenge game next week. We'll talk about this more on Docs Daily next week. That is a revenge game. Detroit humiliated Chicago early in the season. They absolutely want to get back at them. It's going to be outdoors. Ben Johnson gets another shot at his old team. Detroit has absolutely nothing to play for. So I'm looking for a Green Bay win on Saturday, Chicago loss on Sunday, but the Bears wrap up the division next week when they take care of business from Detroit. So, all right.
Now, wait, before you jump back on that, it's Bears 49ers. It's the 8 o'clock game. If you're looking to place the Bears, 2 books told me that this number will be 4 or even 4.5. They're expecting so much 49er money to come in all day Sunday. So if you like the Bears, wait, you can probably get a much better number.
I track a lot of other handicappers and stuff like that, just other people in the industry. And there's a lot of very smart people that are loading up on San Francisco. Now, my heart will be with the Bears. My money probably won't be, frankly, because I think this is a bad spot for them and a better spot for San Francisco. So, all right, we are taking care of business here at Doc Sports. Make sure to go over to DocSports.com for all of your sports handicapping needs. Thank you to all of you that chose to come in here and spend some time with us. We always appreciate it. Thank you to those that left in the comments. Take advantage of that free 60 link down there. That is our gift to you. Everybody have a great weekend. We will be back next week. And that's it. Take it easy.